can be made whole. You 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 can be made whole. made whole.
Hello, my name is Faith Haygood, and I am the proud CEO of Haygood Productions, LLC, where we have a passion for all things media. Haygood Production is a dynamic grassroots media company founded in 2023 in Chicago by my 3 children and I. Born from a shared passion for storytelling, creativity, and media, our company vision is to amplify the voices of creatives, artists, and everyday individuals who have powerful stories to share. We have been in the process of developing my first exploratory docuseries entitled Restoring the House of David, Chicago, From Ruins to Revival. Interviews for this project have already begun since the summer of 24, and my team and I could not be more thrilled. With that being said, we are in our second phase of development for this project, and we need your support. Here's how. Partner with us by donating through GiveButter, a secure fundraising platform for entrepreneurs like myself. All donations will be allotted towards providing quality audio and editorial for this film, on-set equipment, marketing, and advertisement. Your contribution is very important, and as a way to say thank you, you will be invited to celebrate with us in a private screening along with my family and friends and some of Chicago's most prominent influential leaders. There will be entertainment, food, and a great way to learn more about the future of Haygood's production. Click the link to donate today to GiveButter. Your support will make this project a success. And as I always say, just a little bit of faith is all you need. Thank you in advance. Hey everybody, it's Faith Haygood and welcome to the Faith Speaks show. You guys are in for an amazing treat on tonight. I'm super excited. Did y'all just hear that commercial? We're doing a live virtual fundraiser. Yes. Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And guess what? I am so excited about my first production as a producer. I'm putting together a docu-series and I need your help. What can you do? You can help me by giving me some money. Okay, baby. You can start out with a low amount of $25 just to get you started. But guess what? It's something in it for you as well. This is what you can do. You can make the donation first. Secondly, once we have received your donation, you will be sent private link, especially to your phone or email, and you will have 5 minutes to share your business, your music, your gift. You want to tell me a funny story, anything, because you will be on the Faith Speaks show. Yes, that's my gift to you. And that way, the world will know about your business, your music, your new book, whatever you got coming up. Come on in, have a spin. Now, everybody is not, don't want to be on the camera. I get that and I understand, right? So if you give anonymously, I appreciate you. You don't have to come on the stage. If you just want to give, go ahead and give. Okay. I appreciate every dollar that will go towards this production. We kicked this off last year with my children and I with a grassroots company called Haygood Productions. And we began already filming the interviews for this documentary. It's going to be exciting. I think the world needs to hear it. And then from this, we'll continue the process of this production company where we'll be hosting podcast class, voiceover classes, and doing more documentaries. you can even have an opportunity for us to do something for you. So we need those funds. Yes, don't look at the end result. Look at the beginning and don't despise. Well, I done did enough talking. Let's welcome my guest to the stage. We have Miss Tanisha, we have Karima, and Stacy in the house. Guys, let me tell you, we have entitled this night, what we entitled this night? Close the door. No, I'm just playing. We've entitled this night, Mental Health in the Beauty Industry. And I personally can contest to this because I've been a licensed cosmetologist for the last 20 something years. Okay. And these women also have graced the industry as well. And so we're going to hear what effects that hairstylists, barbers, those that are in the beauty industry actually go through. And because this is, what's this month called? June. No. June. It's Mental Wellness Month. That's what happens when you be doing all these people hair. Okay, forget scheduling and everything. But we're going to talk about that because the salon is a place where women come to relax. They come to get beautified. They come to share their stories. They come for counseling. And if you know these sisters, baby, you're going to get some prayer as well. And I just want to dig into what it's like for hairstylists to be behind the chair and dealing with our mental health and our physical health from day to day. And this is 20 plus years on this platform tonight. And so let's start out with Tanisha. Introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Tanisha Morris. I've been a licensed cosmetologist, also an instructor for over 20 plus years. I'm an entrepreneur, a mother, and I wear many more hats.
Many more hats. Now, Tanisha is not new to the Fake Speak Show, not at all. She had a segment earlier this year where we talked about, what was the subject? The process.
Yeah. Going through the process.
Going through the process. It was a powerful transformation journey that Tanisha shared with us, how she went through some things in her previous marriage and how she transitioned her life by changing her health. And now her health is her wealth. Amen. So go back and watch that episode, Tanisha Morris, and that was The Process was the name of that. And then we have Karima in the house. Hi, sis.
Hi.
Welcome to the Faith Speak Show.
Thank you. So glad to be here. This is my first time. So I'm Karima Boyd, good friends with Faith. I've been a hairstylist for 25 years. Started when I was in high school, got my license as I was graduating high school. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and I'm also, I would say, semi-retired. 25 years, I'm semi-retired because you have some stragglers that don't want to let you go.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a mother of four, a wife, a pastor. I'm also a summis, and so I'm moving on to bigger and better things as I go.
As she go. Awesome. I love Karima. Karima and I met years ago through a mutual friend, and the girl can sing. Okay. She was just at the city winery cutting up real good. And she sings on the worship team at our ministry. And so we've been singing together for a while now. She's an amazing person, sweet inside and out. Karima is amazing. I'm so glad to have you on the Faith Speak Show. And last but not least, we have Miss Stacy Mason in the house.
Hello, guys. My name is Stacy Mason, and my business is called Ministry Beyond the Chair. I have been in the hair industry professionally over 10 years, but I've been doing hair all my life. As you know, as hairstylists, that's what we do, right? I'm also a coach, a career coach, a mentor, and also a counselor. So that's what I do, and that's who I am.
Wow, that's what you do, and that's who you are. Okay,
That's what I feel like.
Listen, Stacey has to be here tonight because Stacey is also a returning guest on the Faith Speak show. And her segment was about influence and
The mountain of what is it? Creativity.
mountain of creativity. Oh, yes, that was my stop of mountain
Yeah,
ministry.
and then we did another.
And then we did another one. Oh, twice on the show.
Yes, I have.
Come on, a crowd favorite.
Yes, it's been really, really
The
good.
second one was about co-parenting and how to handle co-parenting.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta go back and watch that one too.
Oh yeah, that was really, really good. So,
Really good.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. We're gonna get this party started quickly. Now, so we have 20 years, educator, 20 years, as well as 10 years. Combined, I would say for myself, I decided to go to hair school when I found out I was expecting my first child. I had been a shampoo girl for some years. I was helping everybody else make money. And my sister said, she said, Faith, you can do the same thing. And I said, really? I didn't know how easy it was to go sign up from school, but I had a little dilemma. I had got kicked out of high school. And in my junior year, went on to try to pursue to get my GED. And cosmetology saved me. I actually took a test called Ability to Benefit, meaning you understood how to read. And so once I took that test, they said, okay, you can start classes. I was like, okay. So I went for years without my GED because I found a way to make money outside of working a 9 to 5. And it was flexible because, you know, you have children, you have to make sure that they at school on time, you got to be at school on time, you got to pick them up on time, all those things. And we're going to get into that. But cosmetology saved me. And I was able to make a living with my small children. And eventually I did go from a GED to a bachelor's degree. Come on, huh? Listen, and it don't stop. I'm thinking about a master's, but I don't know. So, Tanisha, you can answer this question. How has being a hairstylist made you who you are today?
That's a good question. But I would say it's really like my making and in my DNA because most hairstylists that I know, we become like therapists, counselors. We pour into women. And so being a hairstylist just allowed me to already give like my God-given gifts and talents important to other women. So it really just let me see the reflections of myself and other women. And I was able to like minister to them and pour into them. So I think that outpour did so much for me internally.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's part of how it made me who I am today. Just seeing all these beautiful women, these beautiful faces, ministering to them, and my gift and everything that we do is shaped who I am. That's what
You know, I'd like to add?
Yeah, I can attest to that. I started out even prior to being a hairstylist. I was already in ministry as a kid. Mother pastor, church in my basement, you know, and so when I started doing hair, the same church that was in my basement, my beauty salon was in my basement, and so it was a no-brainer to transition ministry with beauty, because like you said, so many people come, telling their stories or going through different things. I remember a time I had in my house, in the bathroom in my basement, you know how you have those hotlines for abuse,
Mm-hmm.
and you would just be so surprised how many, you know, stickers are taken out of there, you know.
Wow.
And just how God just allowed me to grow and develop. Like it was like it kept me on point. It kept me on target because I'm constantly pouring out.
Mhm.
Like I didn't have enough time to, you know, I didn't have enough time to go to the left or however, even though I did, okay.
To the left, to the left.
But like when we're pouring out, it keeps us stronger.
Yeah.
It keeps us going because somebody's calling on us. Somebody's relying on us. Somebody's relying on our faith. Somebody's relying on our prayers. You know, even if they don't ask for it, you know, they'll soon learn and understand as we're pouring out how much they need it.
Yes.
And they keep coming back, you know, because they know we've created a safe space for them. And so I began to understand the importance of what I was doing, and that helped shape, you know, ministry and doing here. That helped shape the person that I am today.
Wow. Stacey, I believe this is a powerful question for you because you have a ministry and it's called
Ministry Beyond the Chair.
Ministry Beyond the Chair. Tell us a little bit about that. And also, what is your favorite part about serving people?
Well, Ministry Beyond the Chair was first, it started off Ministry Behind the Chair. And then once I ended up getting married, God changed it to Ministry Beyond the Chair. I believe that was my commission to go forth as far as being the minister. And it allowed me to understand that ministry is not just when you're working, it's everywhere you go. And so with that being said, I realized what God had put inside of me. It was like, this has to go beyond what you're doing now. Because it was more so just in the chair. And then I started going into stores and I found out what my calling and my purpose was, the voice, the messenger of God. And so that's why it went beyond what it was. What I get out of it and what I enjoy with it is that the transformations and the shifting of the perspectives of how people are transformed through words, because they hold power. And when you have the Holy Spirit that is being used within you, and when you speak to a vessel or speak to a heart, to a soul that's coming directly from God, it does something that nothing, a hairstyle or anything can do. So it's so much bigger than just hair. And I think for the hairstylist industry, just want to add to that, is that people are getting into this industry for money. They're getting into this industry because they think it's quick. But when they find out that this is a calling from God, it is so much more than what people think it is. It's so much bigger than that.
Yeah.
And so for me, Ministry Beyond the Chair is bigger than what I could imagine.
Wow. I can say the same thing because when you're serving people, first of all, you're over their head.
Yeah.
And the head is, you know, where they think. And it's the crown. And the Bible says that a woman's hair is her glory. And so if you're a professional, we are caring for you, mind, body, and soul. And believe it or not, that's where I believe my prophetic gifts were, you know, increased because God would just give me stuff while I'm doing hair. And yes, it's beyond the chair. I met some amazing women. And so, you know, somebody could be sitting there and I was saying, God give me word of knowledge. And they turn around and look up like, how do you know that? You know? And it's like, hey, it's not me. It's not me. It's the God that's in me. How do you feel when you're serving, Tanisha?
When I'm serving? I mean, of course you feel good to serve. So we're talking about hair, being in the industry for so long, but I serve in so many other capacities alongside of that. But I think the biggest feeling of that satisfaction or knowing that you've poured into someone is seeing that person come back to you.
Yeah.
So besides like just my regular clients that I still have, I have clients that I have over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, your clients become like your friends and a part of your life. But besides that, you know, I had an organization called the Locks Foundation. And through that organization, I would do women hair that were sheltered, less fortunate, trying to get back into the workforce. And so years would pass, and I would still see some of those same women, and they will remember me, but I wouldn't remember them. But they would tell me how what we did on that day, how it impacted them, and how it changed their lives. And most people be thinking like, oh, it's just a hairstyle. For some women, it's not just a hairstyle. It's a making or breaking of how they feel. It's a self-esteem booster. It's a lifter up. And then depending on how they're treated and how they're cared for in your chair, it just brings much, much more value. So seeing like that transformation take place is like amazing. It's like, wow, God, look what you did. Because I ain't do it, God did it.
He did.
You know, He just gave me the gifts to do it. And so just seeing the work that He does through me is like, wow, this is amazing.
It's definitely a wow factor. I actually had the opportunity to work with you and servicing these women. And I remember the person that I styled, she had blonde hair, baby. She said, I want it blonde. I said, okay, verify. I said, you know, blonde is her out. Now, we're talking about transformation of other women, how we make them feel outwardly and inwardly, because it is a spiritual thing. Share with me, and anybody can go, share with me a difficult time where you were going through and you still had to minister to that person sitting in your chair.
Let me say. I was going through a divorce, horrible divorce, child custody battle. When I tell you that thing almost took me out, and I had to still get up. I had to still talk to my clients. I had to still, I mean, I cried over their head. I ministered, but I had to do it understanding that it wasn't about me. You know, sometimes we have to serve when we're in a bad space. It takes our mind off of what the enemy will want us to stay focused on. And what happens is it takes you into thankfulness. It takes you into gratitude. And then you continue to keep flowing. And what happens is it's just almost like, you know what, ain't that bad. You know, and then you find also your clients pouring into you. Because this is not a one-way street in this industry. I've had so many, I call them oak trees, palm trees. Some sit in my chair and they just pour back into me. So this is a beautiful ministry. And it's not just one way. It flows up and it flows down. So with that, it was difficult, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot that nothing lasts forever. I learned a lot that you can still move forward despite what's going on. And those storms and those things that I went through actually made me stronger and minister from a different level.
Wow, that's powerful. Go ahead, Karina.
I have a different perspective. Mine was more so the going up and down in the industry. Being a stay-at-home mom, I chose to stay at home with my children, and I was afforded, thank God, the opportunity to do so. But every time I had a child, you know, being a hairstylist, you don't have maternity leave on your job, and you know, you don't get the finances from that, you know, medical, none of that. You don't have those things. So I had to rebuild my business every time. So I have 4 children, and it was difficult because it caused me to just learn more about myself, okay, and kind of like rebuild my passion all over again, because now I'm having to, you know, restore my clientele. You know, of course you have that, you know, their remedy. But it was difficult at times because a lot of times in the beginning stages of our marriage, you know, my husband may not have been, you know, receiving as much work in, and I'm trying to, you know, help on the back end, and not much is coming through. So that, you know, really put a hurt on us financially, and, you know, and then questioning like, well, God, you know, I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I really can't see myself doing anything else right now. So God, I need help, you know. And so it was difficult. It really was difficult. I don't want to say that it, caused me to, be depressed or anything. But it just really caused me to fight even more, to push, to, yeah, to just go beyond where I was at to get to another place, because it was like every time I had to do this or go through this transition, it was like I had to push harder to get above where I was.
Yes.
So, but each time I came on out. I came on out, better and stronger than before, like I said, and really just began to gain a lot of good, strong clientele,
Good.
So,
Good. I could just share a difficult time. I would say people not understanding that it is a career. It is a professional career, just like a police officer, just like a teacher, just like the president. It's the job, because you are committed to serving people, but also having other gifts that you're utilizing. And so to a person that works a 9 to 5, it looks like playtime for us. They don't understand when you're going to work to have fun. No, or you making quick money. No, you have to pay bills. You have to live. You have to eat. And some things are not always afforded to hairstylists. You have to kind of pave the way to do things, because you are an entrepreneur. We were entrepreneurs or self-employed before the entrepreneur was like really a term that was utilized a lot. Correct?
Yeah.
And so at times, having children, I had to get a second job and then do hair on the weekends, or something like that. And so that can weigh on your mentality and how you think. And having children, how did you balance being a mother, being a wife, and balancing your family and church and the mission and the event?
Well, it's not no like one solid answer, because the truth is, in the beginning, I don't know if I balanced well. That's the truth, because my children are salon babies. They came to work with me. If they wasn't in school on the weekends, they was in the salon with me. So a lot of the times, my mother and my sister was the one that helped me with them. I would miss birthdays, dinners, anything that was on a Saturday. I'm late or I'm missing it. I'm coming when it's over. But most people don't know that, Saturdays when you make your money is a lucrative day. And if you self-employed, you working based off the clients that you have.
Come on.
And so you sacrifice a lot family-wise. You got to make a decision like, am I going to go to this celebration, or I'm going to make this money?
Yeah.
And so that becomes like, you got to think. And if you decide to go to these other events, that means you got to work twice as hard so that you can have a vacation, so that you can relax and you can do those things. So it's like a plus to it, and it's a negative to it. The plus is the freedom that you get and the flexibility and schedule, but also when those people don't come, you got to compensate for that as well. So that part was the hardest for me, like raising the kids. Like I said, they became salon babies. After school, they was at the salon, and they grew up there to the point where they'd be like, "How long you gonna be?" What you doing? Just told me what you doing. They would time you based on what doing.
Time management. Right.
So they would know what you're doing. That is when I tell them, she gonna be there.
And you said that, like, missing out on family events or things that are going on, you want to celebrate other people, but you have to work. And my daughter just shared this with me a couple of weeks ago, that we was preparing for, my youngest son, his luncheon. And she said, "Mommy, you didn't come to my luncheon. And I'm like, what? Yes, I did. I did your hair. We picked your outfit out. And I was there. She said, no, you had to go do somebody else. And I didn't even think of that at the time. But that really hurt me that she remembered that. And I didn't. And so what we do as mothers, as hairstylists, it affects our children.
Yeah.
It does affect our children. And I repented to her. I apologized because, and then a memory popped up on Facebook that I did drop her off. And we got a good picture in front. I have it's cute, okay? Because mommy did it. I was there. I was there in spirit and in truth. I love you, honey. And so that's the truth with missing out on family events and for your own sake. Let's talk about what it does to the body. You're standing on your feet, your hands, your eyeballs, your body. When I lived in Georgia, I signed up for I went to start going to a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And when I went in there, it was the best investment I could have made, for myself. Because, after having children, people don't know, but men don't know or understand your body shifts. And so you're standing on your feet. If you're not wearing the proper shoes, you don't have the proper lighting, your body can break down. And so I got on the machine and I'm gonna let y'all hear. Because I'm gonna be quiet, even though it's my show. I'm just setting it up. But what happened is I go in and this new technology scan your whole body, and the results was my body had shifted, my spine, my hip, and I was like, I just started crying. She's like, and thank God for my doctor. She was so sweet, so kind. She walked me through the process, and she said, "What have you been doing?" I said, "I've been a hairstylist." She said, "Yes, you're using your arms, and you go up and down, you're standing on your feet, your back." People don't understand. We try to make y'all look cute, like Holly Berry. Okay.
I was gonna say, I know years ago, a lot of women used to go to the salon with heels on and all of that. So I've never done that, but I also learned later in life that it was important to have a cushion under you.
Yes.
And I didn't do that until years later. Okay. And so it has affected my hips. It's affected my joints, my back. It has affected everything. And one of the many reasons why I retired, semi-retired last year, was because of my body. And at the top of the year, January 2024, I took my last client for braids. I said, I don't understand how braiders do it.
Yeah.
You really cannot sit down when you're doing all these braids and you're using your back and you got to keep them. You can't sit down and do that.
Right.
And I would be up all night, back aching. When it's time to go to bed, I'm in pain.
Yes.
And your wrist and all these things. And so I want to say about 5 years, 5 years ago, I knew that I didn't want to stand behind the chair for the rest of my life. And so I just began to ask God, God, just show me, give me your timing, and help me transition out. Like I love doing here. I love ministering to my clients. I like the money. But I have to move on. I have to do something else or else, And so last year was that year where I felt like I had started hearing God and my body was just talking like crazy. And so I've always kind of had issues with my wrist, but it would come and it would go. And so last year, as I'm asking God, okay, God, tell me when, and I'm holding and I'm trying to squeeze product bottles and my hand opens up and I drop the bottle. I don't feel any pain, but it completely opens up. I had the flat irons, you don't have to like squeeze them so tight, but still you need to close them. I could not close my hand.
Yeah.
And this one kicker, when I felt in the palm of my hand a debilitating pain that went from the palm of my hand to my wrist. And I can recall so many hairstylists talking about carpal tunnel and how they had surgery. I said, okay, God, that's it for me. Because I don't want that. I would rather bow out before I have to, go through that. And so, yeah, that was, it was a lot. Last year was a lot,
Wow.
24 years, that was a lot. And yeah, I was able to make a conscious decision with peace.
With peace.
With peace.
We talk about it.
And I feel better. Yes.
So a lot has changed in the industry. It's fast money. You got these girls out here ain't been to nobody's school,
Yes.
don't want to go to school, but they have a gift, they have a talent.
Yeah.
And they gluing it down and they braiding it up, coloring it, sprigging it. You said spraying it.
Spraying it up.
Spray.
They
They
got
spraying
to
it up.
gluing it up.
They got to be gluing it up, But behind all of that, they have no education. They have no knowledge of what they're doing, but they have all these rules now. You got to make a deposit. You got to come at this time, and then they cancel you, and they cashing out. They taking people money. I've even seen instances where, actually, one of my clients, she got to be glued, and she was allergic to it, and she was doing a photo shoot, and her whole forehead broke out. And so, although we don't treat under the skin, we treat what's on top of the skin. She had a mark, and she was asking her mom, what should she do? And she said, okay, put some aloe vera on it, and it did clear up. What is the difference that you have seen from back in the day to now?
For me, I can say just unaccountable people who don't know the responsible role of being in this industry. When I first started out, I was a kid. I did the pocket curls. I don't know if anybody knows about when you get the, you burn somebody here and you put the hair. But when I first started out, I just had a love for hair. So that love kind of made me open up and just start doing it. I started finding creative ways because that's how it starts. It's just like, I just want to cut my bangs, raise my eyebrows. And what I realized when I started to do hair for my family members, because you're going to start off with your friends.
Oh, yes.
First, that I was burning and doing things that they was like, it's okay. But it was just like, no, it's not okay for me.
Right.
So what inspired me was my twin sister. I didn't see her with a passion for hair, but she ended up going to school for hair. And I was in corporate America at the time, making some good old money. And I was just like, let me go up here and see what she doing. And I just got inspired. But it wasn't the inspiration of just about the hair. It was more so like, look what the base of the foundation is.
Yes.
So for me, when I got in, I started seeing the foundation, and it was just like, so that's what that. It was like science to me.
Yes.
And I love science in high school. Actually, I was a science school pet. Like I was like, okay, whatever, right? So it made me go back to school, but it also opened my eyes to see that what's missing is foundation.
Yes.
Which is the most healthiest thing to do.
Yes.
And a lot of these stylists are getting into this industry, tearing people's head up and doing all these horrible things and not understanding. It's like, for us, they come back to us.
Right.
They're looking for us, like, I gotta find me an old school stylist. I gotta find somebody who know how to, do this. And it's just like, because we hold something that they don't have.
Yes.
And it's not that they can't get it. It's just that they choose not to. And then, you have people that don't care about their hair. They just want the image.
Right.
They just want the style. And so for them, they go into these places and they get what they get. Some people, well, she was cheap. I'm like, well, you got what you were supposed to get.
Right.
But for the foundation, you're going to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the foundation that we're laying and what we're doing is something that you can't find nowadays. So that's what I believe that what's missing from then and now is people are losing the foundation of their hair. So what hair is.
And I wanted to say, I think what I enjoy most about besides doing hair is actually teaching, being an instructor, which brings me right back to that place because a lot of the girls that came to school, they were already doing hair. They were already making money. And it was so hard for them to come to school and let somebody tell them what to do because they already at home making money. And so they don't want to sacrifice and come back to school and like stay there and do those hours and even be on a clinic floor, doing clients hair at a discounted price. So that's the kind of dilemma they get stuck in. And they don't have that foundation, as she said, and that educational piece to really know what you should and should not be doing. And I think that's one of the things when I transitioned from doing hair, I actually got my instructor's license to teach. And that was so fulfilling. Like actually working with the students and developing them and them becoming young stylists and things of that nature. That was more fulfilling actually than probably being a hairstylist. They're both fulfilling, but actually instructing and teaching. And so those foundational pieces was very important. But I also believe this generation has something that we don't. They got that money piece to it. We had the foundation as far as education, knowing how to grow hair. Even now, it's like certain places I will not go, certain stylists I will not go. I want to make sure you're licensed. You have a license. What is your background, your history? But this generation is more so about aesthetics, but it's also about money and professionalism. And they're booked. They could be taking out 50 heads, but they're booked. And we, on the other hand, I think in our generation, we lack that business sense that they have created through social media because people want what they see. And so these stylists are basically the ones that you could see. So they're like, oh, I want that, I want that. But they only see like the finished product or that styling of it, not the foundation part. But when you're looking for actual stylists, it's like when I was natural, I'm like, I need my hair straightened. I'm not going to say any of these girls, they're going to just use a flat iron. But I want that old school heat. Like I want a stylist that understands the process and what it means to break down the hair. And some of those things you're only going to get through education. And you can only YouTube so much. I mean, they have so much out here, but actually coming to school and having an instructor tell you, oh, you dropped that comb on the floor. Sanitation. And you pick it up, but then you see go in the salon, you see people doing any and everything that you would know. And even how you see these people like on TV relaxing and permanent hair on the same day, coloring, relaxing and coloring and doing stuff like that. So it's a bunch of no-nos that they don't know. No-nos. But if they were in school, they would know. They would know all those foundational pieces. And and most of cosmetology is the care of other people. Not passing germs and diseases, taking care of the hair and things of that nature. But we have condensed it down to just styling and not the health of the person and people around you and not the health of the client and their actual hair.
Okay, go ahead, Serena.
I'm loving all of this because this is everything I want to say as well. But for me, I fell in love with theory first. I fell in love with the book first. I wasn't even thinking about doing hair. My sister was a hairstylist. My father was a barber. My grandparents were barbers, okay? And it never dawned on me like to follow in their footsteps, right? So I'm in high school and the school had the program. And I thought I was going to go into technology. And I signed up for this class and I was too late. And they said, you either got to choose gym or cosmetology. So I'm like, okay. I can go in there and play on the mannequin. In my head, I had no idea how vast the industry was. I had no idea what was going on outside of that building, okay, in the world, right? And in my head, I'm like, okay, I can stand there and maybe curl something because at the age of 12 years old, I'm cutting my hair, cutting my own hair, I'm curling my own hair because I'm watching my sister do other people's hair. So I'm working on myself, So I get to high school, and so I'm like, okay, my sophomore year, I can go ahead and do this or that. I get in the classroom, and she say, okay, here are your books. What? What? And we didn't even get to the floor for months.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with theory, the anatomy, and
Yeah.
learning what was going on the inside of your body.
Yes.
Your hair works from the inside out. The healthiness of your hair starts from the inside, and then what you do on the outside, makes a difference. And so my foundation was learning the importance of taking care of somebody's hair, not just what they, look like. Yes, what they look like is important, and you learn that because a lot of times stylists will give people styles that does not fit their face, it doesn't fit their personality or their career or their,
It's so much.
it's so much, right? And I began to I think I lose my thought. But as I began to grow in that, I began to, I just began to, just love the theory first. Okay, it was another point I was going to make about this. Oh, okay. So I learned so much, right? And going through the process and then getting to actually styling hair and everything, and we learned so many different styles. We learned the foundation of different styles, right? And then once I got my license, okay, then you can build on that. You can create more and more styles. And so here we are, we curling, we cutting, we doing updos, we doing all of these things, right? So people sitting in your chair and you're working long hours because you got to sew in here and you got to color over here, you're doing all these things, right? And today, these girls, these people that that we're talking about and boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They perfect one style and making a kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I followed this girl on Instagram and she perfected the ponytail.
Yeah.
She can add, color to the ponytail or this, that'll flip your ponytail in the back. And she's making a killing. And she does not have a degree. She does not have her license. Yeah. And she ended up coming out with some products. Like, we're killing us. We killed ourselves.
Yes.
Doing so much. And so through the years, I'm like, 5 years to take all of my clientele natural. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm not doing relaxes anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And then I began to build my business on natural hair.
Yeah, the transition happened automatically. It wasn't like people like, oh, what kind of gray hair? I got 4C and HBO and BET hair. And I'm like, who? All I know is medium, coarse, thin, and it's a new wave of serving people came in because people were no longer getting relaxed.
But I was going to say, to her point, when I was in school, my teachers taught me, I taught my students, they told you to specialize in something.
Yeah.
And so they just found their niche, and that's all they do is specialize in that particular thing. But also, you said something earlier, we talked about like our bodies, like even in cosmetology, they teach you how to take care of your body to a certain point. You know, over time that everything is a wear and tear. But yeah, to your point, that was very, very good.
Yeah. Wow.
My teacher was the one that told me I should be an instructor. And that's how I ended up getting my instructor's license. She said, you're very good with theory. You should go back to school and become a teacher. Very good.
Tanisha ended up becoming unknowingly my niece, Deja, cosmetology teacher. And she was like, dude, how did that come about? She said, NTK. I said, what's your teacher name? I asked her what school she went to. She was like, Miss Morris. Miss Morris. I said, she got hazel eyes. Or Miss she got hazel eyes. I said, that's my girl. So it's like a full circle moment. And she's like, she is so sweet. She always talking to me, encouraging me. And I said, I'm glad because one can water, another one plant, they gotta get the increase. How can we change the narrative of this industry if we could? We can. I feel like something that you all been talking about this platform. This is a way to do it. Teaching, getting into the field and levels, doing groups, podcast, many different avenues to shift. I think whatever the Lord may be leading you to do to transform the lives of others in this industry, you should do it. And I do believe that every person has some form of idea that that's been in their heart and mind to do that they just need to step out on. Because we are the light, right? And we can influence, but we are being influenced by which is God, right? And so I just feel like, teaching, speaking about it more, going out and also being a mentor to people and coaching them and letting them know, like, I see you. Reaching out, you're doing a good job. I love the ponytails, girl, but you need to go get your license because I feel like you should be doing more. You know what I mean? Encouraging others that are in the young, because we're, in this field, we need to pour into the people that's coming. So I feel like we have to go back and help those that are still in this industry to better the industry because, and like I said, what you're doing is absolutely amazing. So thanks for the platform. It's really good.
Thank you, Stacey. Karima, share a faith nugget with our audience.
How we can change the narrative.
Okay. I was going to say some, on the lines of what she was saying as far as the internet. The internet is one of our biggest tools. Unless you're going to go out there and go to these beauty schools or the internet is a way that you can create a community because everybody's on there. And you do see people on there that are teaching, that are showing the way to do it. But being intentional about being God focused and God centered and creating that community. Like she said, to say, hey girl, you need to go get your license. Like, it's okay. Go get your license so that you can better your business, so that you can have a better outcome, of your business. And also teaching them how this is ministry.
Yes.
It's not just a dollar being made. It's not just, somebody in and out of your chair, getting them in, getting them out. Like, we have to make sure that we are whole as a stylist, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of those things, because what we have on the inside of us spills out into other people.
Yes.
Whether we know it or not, whether we, realize it or not, your attitude that day can really affect your clientele. It can affect the atmosphere. And so just giving them that understanding that this is more than just the dollar.
Yes, it is. That's good. That's so good. Tanisha, share a final thought, faith nugget, please.
Everything was so good. And I'm glad she mentioned the atmosphere or your attitude, like the service of it. I think I would probably just encourage my young entrepreneurs, especially the ladies, also the men too. But I think for women, like, we have a lot on the table when it comes to family, kids, career, and we're trying to delegate and balance everything. And I would just say, like, going back to school, it's only like a temporary moment. It's not going to be forever. And that if they're not licensed, to get licensed, and the time is worth sacrificing.
That's right.
It's very much worth sacrificing. They'll see in the end that it was beneficial to them and their clients. And I just tell them to step out on faith. Go ahead and go to school. Go ahead and get your degree, get your license, do whatever it is that you're trying to do. And it'll be really beneficial to them. So that's what I'm saying.
Wow. Did you want to add something?
I do. I want to also say to this because in the hair industry, we are domestic violence also certified as well. I'm a domestic violence facilitator, and also there are so many stylists that are abusing so many people that are in their chair. And I think the responsible role for us as well, we need to be careful with the abuse of what people are doing to other people and how they're making this out of a soup kitchen, and how they're not understanding that people are broken sitting in that chair. People are going through things that they're being abused from, and we need to be mindful
Yes.
of the responsible role as leaders and as hairstylists to take these things serious because they need us to be whole so we can be able to heal and deliver and set them free. So I just wanted to just pour it on out there for you guys and let you know that you have to have a heart, you have to have empathy, you have to have God in order to do this work. All right?
All right. Wow. Thank you so much, Stacey, for sharing that. Karima being a guest on the show. She was a little nervous, but baby, I couldn't tell. Could y'all tell? She's a professional. Okay. And Tanisha joining me again on the Faith Speak show. Guys, this has really been informative. I actually took the liberty to write a book called How to Maintain Healthy Hair at Home. It is available on Amazon. I will attach that link to this live. I wrote that book on a piece of paper. And I used some computer paper and a stapler and a pencil, and I drew a girl on the front. Okay, gave her some long locks. Right. Okay. And that's how I started out. And I made copies of it. I used to put it on the buses and the trains and give it out to people. And as I matured, because I didn't know how to publish at all, then I said, oh, I can type this up. I redid it, did surveys, asking women questions, getting their answers. And then I had the opportunity after my first book, How to Maintain Healthy Hair at Home, Adult and Teen Edition, came. And it's my baby. It is my baby. It has the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, tools that you should have right in your home, between tools that you should have already in your home, and how to properly use them, how to properly shampoo, how to properly condition, get the ends trimmed, because it's not a sin to trim those ends. Yeah. So the book is available on Amazon. Go grab it for your teenage daughter, your niece, your cousin. Even the guys that are growing their hair out, they wear braids and crochets and all that good stuff. So go grab that book today. Help a sister out so we can maintain healthy hair at home. And also find your good hairstylist, someone that you can trust. Don't be bouncing all over Chicago, wherever you at. Find one or two that can specialize in the things that you like getting service in, and go from there. Last but not least, what's this month? June 25th, we are hosting my first live virtual fundraiser. That is June the 25th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be right here on this YouTube channel. I need you to subscribe right now. Here's an opportunity for you to sow into my first documentary. What's going to happen is you'll make a donation. From that donation, a private link will be sent to your phone or email where you can grace my platform with me and share 5 minutes of something that you got going on in your life, a special event, your music, your book. You want to share a story, or you just simply want to say hi. After that, you can continue to enjoy the live. And if you want to give anonymously, you can do so as well. You don't have to click the link once it's sent to you. Just continue to enjoy the live. I'm going to be cracking jokes. I'm going to be singing. I'm going to have some fun. I might even send the link to my girls so they can join as well. The support is needed. The support is needed. And so I appreciate you all. I love you. And as I always say, just a little bit of faith is all you need. I'll see you next time on the Faith Speak Show.
My name is Faith Haygood, and I am the proud CEO of Haygood Productions, LLC, where we have a passion for all things media. Haygood Production is a dynamic grassroots media company founded in 2023 in Chicago by my 3 children and I. Born from a shared passion for storytelling, creativity, and media, our company vision is to amplify the voices of creatives, artists, and everyday individuals who have powerful stories to share. We have been in the process of developing my first exploratory docuseries entitled Restoring the House of David, Chicago, From Ruins to Revival. Interviews for this project have already begun since the summer of 24, and my team and I could not be more thrilled. With that being said, we are in our second phase of development for this project, and we need your support. Here's how. Partner with us by donating through GiveButter, a secure fundraising platform for entrepreneurs like myself. All donations will be allotted towards providing quality audio and editorial for this film, on-set equipment, marketing, and advertisement. Your contribution is very important, and as a way to say thank you, you will be invited to celebrate with us in a private screening along with my family and friends and some of Chicago's most prominent influential leaders. There will be entertainment, food, and a great way to learn more about the future of Haygood's production. Click the link to donate today to GiveButter. Your support will make this project a success. And as I always say, just a little bit of faith is all you need. Thank you in advance.
You can be made whole. You can be made whole.